Love Nation.
Let's go.
Welcome into the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. It's DNVR Buffs Primetime. We're presented by Illegal Pete's. Weird day.
Weird day? Why is that?
Just a lot of weird stuff going on. It's windy and like 60 degrees in May.
Okay.
The Nuggets are just like collapsing in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's just weird.
Okay. It feels like a normal day to me.
That's a normal day to you?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, here's the thing about the Nuggets. They haven't been able to find their mojo. If they find it at any time, all bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
They could also just not. It could just be gone, and they just might get swept. But I'm willing to believe that it could just appear.
I hope so.
I mean, when at their best, they can beat anyone at any time.
Yesterday was demoralizing, bro.
I was there.
I know. How did you survive that?
I don't think I'm capable of being demoralized.
That's crazy.
Actually, the Stanford game demoralized the shit out of me. But it takes a lot. That's a lot to demoralize. But when it comes to the Nuggets, I don't know. I got what I needed.
That's fair. We have the Avs tonight.
Yep. Avs have a chance to save the vibes.
Yes, they do. Can't wait. All right, we're going to touch on Danny Manning, CU basketball. We will touch on Johnny Chaney Jr. coming on a visit. Which games we're looking forward to the most this year, but we start today with the Heisman Trophy. And why these Heisman odds are actually saying something else about Colorado.
Yes. Okay. So, of course, someone had it today. Who put out the graphic with the Heisman odds?
On 3.
Okay. On 3 had the graphic with the Heisman odds. Let me see if I can find it. My mentions are a little bit of a disaster. I'm not going to get into that. Oh, she's got it?
Yeah.
Let's go.
There it is. You're going to have to zoom in. There's
here
a
we
lot
go.
going on there.
It's in Buffs assignments, right? Okay, I can pull it up so I can look at it on my phone too. All right. So, the list on its face seems sort of disrespectful, right?
Definitely.
Just go through it. Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers, Dylan Gabriel, Jalen Miller, Will Howard, Jackson Dart, Garrett Nussmeier, Nico.
Do you know what team Garrett Nussmeier plays for?
It looks like Missouri.
Close.
Really? It's not Missouri?
LSU.
Oh, okay. That looks like a Missouri logo. Cam Ward, Avery Johnson, Jackson Arnold, Riley Leonard, DJ Uyungale, Noah Fafita, Cam Rising, Brady Cook, Jalen Daniels, Shedeur Sanders, all the way down there at plus 3,500. And it has opened up an interesting conversation because, like I said, on its face, it sounds really disrespectful.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you why it has very little to do with what they think about Shedeur. Because if you go to just a different part of the sports book, you can find odds on who's going to be the number 1 pick in the 2025 NFL draft.
Yep.
And what do those odds say? Shedeur Sanders, the favorite to be the number 1 pick in the 2025 NFL draft at plus 350, ahead of everyone we just listed, most notably Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers, who are right behind him.
Right.
And so you have to ask yourself, okay, well, why do they think that he's going to be the number 1 overall pick in the draft, but he's only the 19th best option or highest option to win the Heisman Trophy? And the reason is not about Shedeur Sanders, but it's more about what the sports books think about Colorado. And that's where the disrespect comes in. Because the sports book has Colorado at 5.5 wins on the season, meaning they're looking at a 500 or worse team. And it's very, very rare to win the Heisman Trophy at 500 or worse. You and I, and most people that are watching the show, don't think Colorado's only winning 6 games this year. I think they're going to win considerably more. And I think they're going to win enough to get Shedeur firmly into the Heisman conversation. So that's why, to me, A bet on Shedeur to win the Heisman, especially if you do it at a place where you can get a buyout if you wanted such a thing, is actually more of a bet on Colorado. And it's kind of a fun bet to have because you could bet the over 5.5 wins all day, but the sportsbook I'm looking at has that at minus 115.
Right.
So that's minus 115, and meanwhile, Shedeur to win the Heisman is plus 3,500. They're not quite as correlated as you would want, but if you think Colorado's winning 8, 9, 10 games, 10 especially, then you really like this bet because it's not Shedeur that has them. They're high on Shedeur, as evidenced by the pick odds, or at least they're not really high on things. But you know what I mean. It's not that they don't think he's good. Or they think that he's incapable. It's that they don't think Colorado's good. I like it as a bet on the Buffs and Shedeur. If the Buffs win 10 games, it's because of Shedeur. And obviously Travis and everyone else. But he's going to be leading the charge. And I think he'll be in New York if they win, I would say more than 7 games. So 8, 9, 10. I think he has a great chance to be in New York. So there you go.
Last year, Jaden Daniels, LSU Tigers went 9-3, and they lost 3 of their 4 ranked matchups in the season. All their losses came basically before the end of the season. Their last loss was in the first week of November. So they were what does that make them? A 6-3 football team, and they were in the conversation.
Absolutely,
they'll be just fine.
Yeah,
Shedeur will be just fine.
And that's why, unfortunately, you can't bet on that in Colorado.
Yes.
But there are places where you can, and if I was in one of those places, I would absolutely take this bet. A lot, and here's my stance on betting, especially when it comes to betting on futures like this. It's all about fun. To me, obviously, everyone wants to make money in the end, but I think if you go into it thinking that you're going to make money, you could end up having a bad time. I think I said this last week, but I actually have made money every single year since they legalized it in Colorado. I've never thought of it that way, though. I've never thought of it as like a income stream. I just want things that are fun to have.
Yeah.
Holding a Shedeur Sanders plus 3,500 Heisman ticket is just a fun thing to have.
That's electric.
Fun thing to follow. As the Buffs get off to a hot start, hopefully, that those odds start getting driven down. You're seeing that buyout go up, up, and up. Plus 3,500 is a big number. So if I were you, put a couple bucks on it.
Also, that list that we looked at, how many guys is this?
20.
20? How is Travis Hunter not on this list?
I don't know, other than what I just said. They think that essentially it's a long shot for Colorado to win enough games to have the Heisman Trophy winner. They obviously think that Shedeur as a quarterback has a better chance than Travis. They only went to the 20 on that list.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's shortly behind that plus 3,750 or plus 4,000.
He should be on this list, though. He's just a better football player than a lot of these other people are.
Probably all.
Straight up.
I think he's the best football player in the country.
Yeah.
Not being in the top 20 in Heisman odds is crazy, but I don't think that doesn't mean that he's not available. We can't see because it's not available here. But if you have one of the sports betting apps and you're in I think Chicago, you can do it. Washington D.C., you can do it. There's a bunch of places, but if you're one of those places, go look. I bet you that it's available. It's just not on that top 20 list, which is crazy. But you want it to be crazy if you want to bet on it.
For sure. I just think that he's the exact type of player that could disrupt and win the Heisman Trophy as a non-quarterback, disrupt the norm, I guess, because he's going to play both ways. Devontae Smith did that, 4 or 5 years ago, whenever he did it. But Charles Woodson, I think, was the last non-quarterback that's not true because running backs have won it, but you know what I'm saying. Not running back or quarterback, basically.
Last wide receiver, Devontae Smith.
Yeah, and I'm just saying before that, Charles Woodson played both ways too.
Yep.
And with how Colorado's going to use him this year, especially on defense, if he's playing near the slot, this guy's going to be making impact plays all the time around the football.
Absolutely.
If he ends up with 15 TFLs, 5 interceptions, 1 pick six, 7 passes defense, and ends up with 90 tackles to go along with his offensive stat. If he's playing in the slot, bro, come on.
He's not gonna. He won't be in there that much. But I know what you're saying.
I'm just saying this is the exact type of player that the Heisman Trophy should be meant for, honestly.
It requires so much ball knowledge to understand Travis Hunter's impact and then vote for him for the Heisman, and I do not have the confidence. 90% of these people that vote on this are just looking at box scores.
I mean, that's fair also.
And so for me, for Travis to win it, as much as I think that he could very well be the best player in the country next year on a Colorado team that overachieves based on national standards, and still, if he didn't have 1,500 receiving yards and 15 interceptions, people just like wouldn't be able to wrap their head around it. And they'd be like, well, Shedeur completed 72% of his passes, threw for 4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. He's the best player on the team. And, you know, I never want to have to choose who's the best player on the team between the two of them. But I think it's just way easier for, like, simple-minded Heisman voters to just look at stats from a quarterback and be like, that's what a Heisman winner looks like. You have to, like, watch the games and understand Travis's impact.
Yeah.
And just what it takes to be out there every play, if he's out there every play this year, to vote for him. There you go. Someone in the comments said at their book, he's plus 6,500.
Look, man, this is the best all-around player in college football. And if he's going to be returning punts this year, too, could you imagine?
There's no way.
Look, man, I understand, but if they want to win, they're going to put Travis in as many, like, impact positions as possible.
Yes, but we saw what happened when he got hurt last year.
Well, that's what happens when guys take cheap shots at him. Like, I'm sorry.
Well, you might not be any more prone to taking a cheap shot than when you're staring in the sky at a ball.
For
and
sure.
anyone can just tee off on you.
Yes, for sure. But, I mean, he's Travis Hunter. He could only need one punt return to score.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you use him in specialty situations. They used to do this with LaVisca. It's like, if you are down 7, there's a minute left, and they're punting to you, like, yeah, put Travis back there.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that's like a Heisman moment type thing.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, so
they also might have like if LeJonte's returning punts, he might end up being like one of the best punt returners in the country, and they might never want to take him out of that position.
That's fair.
Same thing. I'm really excited about Jimmy Horn returning kicks.
It's going to be an interesting competition there again. All right, we're kind of getting into the season and stuff we want to see. So
to put a bow on it, I understand why people look at that and say this is disrespectful. I would say just look at it and say this is an opportunity.
Travis was practicing at punt return. Like, they literally said it. Like, you can tell me in the comments Travis is not taking punts. That's what the team said was going on. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, I am with the chat on this. That it's not happening, but I understand.
Why would you put it
didn't
back
just
there?
pull it out of thin air?
Yeah.
I think for the exact reason that we're talking about. I think that there's a difference between 1 or 2 on the season and he's the punt returner.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think he'll be the punt returner.
I mean, Wester was an all-conference AAC punt returner last year.
That's your punt returner.
Yeah.
Although he might. This is why I don't know if I could handle the balance of being a coach, because like I would just be so scared of putting my best players on special teams.
You need them to make plays if you're going to win.
I would be so scared of doing anything that could potentially get my players hurt.
It's a violent game, bro.
I completely agree, but I'm just like, I would only do things that, like, whatever they do, that's the only thing I would want them to do. Because as soon as they get hurt doing something different, then you feel like an idiot.
Fair enough. You know what's reliable and is extremely efficient and always performs?
Shedeur Sanders.
Toyota.
Oh, okay.
But close enough. But shout out to Toyota. Your Toyota gets us where we need to go a lot of the times when we have to make the trek up to Boulder.
Yes, sir.
Super reliable. And they've got tons of options for whatever you're looking for. If you're adventurous, you're trying to go, check out the mountains out here. They got the 4Runners. And they also have performance vehicles. You get a Supra. If you're feeling sporty, what do you have again?
Guess.
I can't remember. RAV4.
There you go.
I remembered it.
The RAV4icon.
What is that?
They were just on your ass yesterday for one of your mispronunciations, so I just made it into a pun.
Look, man. Again, my parents taught me to sound it out. That's what I did. I'm sorry.
That's amazing.
People are bringing up Ken Michael, too. I mean, we've got a lot of speed on this team.
That's what I mean. That's why it's like, please don't put Travis back there.
Toyota's got a lot of speed, too. You can visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and is the official vehicle of DNVR.
Also, shout out to Bet365. If you're looking for a sports book, Bet365 is the perfect place for you to go. And right now, you can do the old bet and get offer. Place a bet of $5 or more, get $150 in bonus bets. It's a great sports book. They have all sorts of awesome deals, awesome odds. They have different ways to bet on golf than I've seen in some of the other sports books, where like essentially you can, with one click of the button, bet on your guy to win top 5 and top 10, or win top 10 and top 20, and it'll spread the bet out for you across those things. Kind of a cool way of doing things. But Bet365, I think, has a ton of ways to bet on sports that maybe some of the other books around don't have. And they have, obviously, the early win bonus, or the early win, what do you call that?
The early
win tokens?
The early money line payout.
Early money line payouts.
Yes.
There you go. Early money line payouts, which Jake swears by.
Yep.
Maybe your most successful betting adventure?
Yeah. I don't know. I've had some good years before, too, on NFL and college football, but this last year was very profitable because of that.
There you go. So check out our friends over at Bet365. Of course, you must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER.
Shout out Bet365. And we're going to do a Bet365 top 5 right now. Please do not complain about the colors in the chat.
We have no control over that.
Yes. All right. Today we are doing, what is it titled again, Alyssa?
Buffs top 5 most exciting games for in 2020.
That is a lot of words.
That's a mouthful. Most
Games we're most looking forward to.
Yes, in 2024. Top 5. We obviously, it's a 12-game schedule. So we got to make some choices here.
Okay, number 1 is obvious and easy for me.
Of course.
But I'm willing to hear arguments on number 2. But number 1 is Nebraska.
Yep.
It's the rivalry. It's the last time we're playing them for what will probably end up being a long
A
time.
long time.
And that's sad. But it's also a chance to make it so that Nebraska won't be able to claim a win over Colorado in literal decades. It's already been 1 decade.
Yeah.
Plus. If you win this one, they are stuck in the mud for a long time with no chances to punch back, and that excites me. So that's number 1 for me. It's also going to be our first trip of the year that everyone can come on. So make sure you go check out True Fan Travel and potentially travel with us to Nebraska, stay with us in Nebraska, tailgate with us at Nebraska, and then be in the stands with me as I seek out the Nebraska band to try and conduct them better than probably their own conductor could do. Nebraska's number 1 with a bullet.
If Colorado wins this game, there's a chance that Nebraska doesn't get a chance to beat Colorado, and like Shedeur and Travis will be getting their gold jackets already.
Yeah. It's possible.
Like they could have a whole NFL career by the time Nebraska could get a chance to even beat Colorado.
I would like to live in a world, though, where the Super Conference brings us back together and we get that rivalry back.
And there's rumblings about that, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen a bunch of that, but
no. Tell me more.
Oh man, it's just there's a lot going on. Someone reported that like they put together this proposal that was like almost immediately, like 60 days they have to respond to like group everything back together. Like it would address all the damages and the conference realignment and stuff like that. Like, but I don't know.
Wow.
There's a lot going on.
That's exciting. Okay.
I agree, though. Number 1, Nebraska. That's just going to be a fun time. If it's anything like the TCU trip, then yeah, you're going to want to come out and hang out with us. Number 2.
All right. I think, to me, this is easy. I know a lot of CU fans try to downplay this, especially older CU fans. They don't want to give Colorado State the credit of saying we're excited to play them, but I think it would be disingenuous to try and pretend like the storylines that exist underneath this game
Absolutely.
and the pre-existing in-state rivalry that's already there doesn't make Colorado State the number 2.
The Kim Norvell game.
Yes. Yes. It was personal then. It's personal now.
Uh-huh.
And honestly, the reason why I'm so excited for this game is I think that Colorado is going to take the right approach into this one. Last year, I just don't think they did. And I think that's why we ended up in the situation that we were. Thank God Shedeur saved our asses, or else it would have been a long 365 days between these two.
Yeah.
But I just think that they got a little high on their own supply.
Yeah. Travis got hurt.
Travis got hurt. No, I mean, it was kind of a perfect storm.
Yeah.
But I do think they thought they were going to win by 30.
I mean, yeah,
And then-
it was tight early on, too. It was real back and forth.
Yep. This year, I think they're going to say, okay, this is they're going to take a much more business-like approach. And from a talent standpoint, they should smack them. But I don't think they're going to take that mindset into this one. I think it gives them a better chance to actually do it.
Absolutely. This is a big narrative one. Travis, I think, is going to come into this one pretty motivated, too.
Yeah.
To prove a point for himself. I think the whole team. I think that they're going to take last year and they're going to use it a lot as motivation. Everything that's happened this offseason, too.
Yeah. You know what I'm hoping for?
What's up?
I'm hoping for a Rick George quote before this game where he comes out and says, what happened last year was dirty and unacceptable. And if we see anything like that in this game again, we're canceling the series.
I love it.
I love it too. It's
love
also a great rivalry chess piece to play.
Yeah, for sure.
Rick, you can have that one for free.
Number 3. I can't remember actually. What did we do here? Or what did we talk about here?
Kansas State.
K-State.
Kansas State. The Dylan Edwards return game. I'm not
Yep.
calling it revenge game. I'm not calling it a homecoming. It's the return. And it's also one of the best teams in the Big 12. So you kind of have both things going for you. Avery Johnson going to be, in that upper tier of Big 12 quarterbacks.
Yep.
This game is in Boulder,
Yep.
and I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, this is coming off of a bye week, too, off the first bye week. So Colorado should have time to bounce back from that UCF game at the end of September for this game, October 12th. Yeah, the Dylan Edwards storyline is going to dominate this game, but this could really be – this is a measuring stick game for Colorado, too.
Mm-hmm.
How are you ready to compete at the top of the Big 12 right away?
What week is this?
This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, week 7.
Okay.
6th game of the year, week 7.
So, to me, it's kind of a great opportunity to – there's a chance you have a great record right now. And like you said, it's you win this game and you could end up being the favorite.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. Number 4.
Someone asked, do we boo when Dylan gets touches? I got to wait for that to play out for a little bit.
What do you mean? Like how he does during the season?
It's like he's obviously going to be on the podium during that week.
Yeah, of course.
What does he say?
I don't think he's going to say anything.
I don't think so either. And so don't start with none, won't be none,
Yeah, I mean, come on. This guy lived through the beginning of last year. He saw Nebraska make it personal for no reason, and he saw CSU make it personal for no
True.
reason. I think Dylan's a smart enough kid to know that when he's on the podium ahead of this game, that he's not going to poke the bear and try and incite anything more than this game has to be.
Yeah, but you saw it with Jay Norvell's. People get a mic and they start acting funny.
Yeah, unless he feels a certain type of way that we haven't
Yeah.
heard so far.
I don't think he will, and I think there's obviously going to be some people who boo, but I don't think there would have to be event that would happen to trigger like a full stadium type of boo situation.
Yeah. That's going to be a fun one. I cannot wait. Number 4. So you got North Dakota State, you got Baylor, UCF, Arizona, Cincy, Texas Tech, Utah, K-State, and Oklahoma State.
Well, these next two are pretty easy for me.
Or Kansas, sorry.
I guess number 5 could go a few different ways. But to me, number 4 is North Dakota State. And it's for the most obvious reason. It's the season opener. Thursday Night Football. Colorado somehow only 7-point favorites in this game. The whole world's watching. At least half, maybe like 60% of the world rooting against us.
More than that.
A chance to announce that we're nothing to mess with this year.
There was a legit thread on Reddit the other day. People talking about North Dakota State beating Colorado in this game.
I've seen it. I mean, I've seen it's everywhere.
I mean, it is the first game of the season, but I'm just excited about this one for the boys just to go out there, fly around, and play football.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are discounting the talent of this team. They're discounting the returning talent of this team and the mistakes that were made last year and how they've learned from those. The coaching staff, how they've improved that over the offseason. I think this offensive line is ready to go out there and set a tone week 1 against this team who is known for being pretty good in the trenches, although FCS. There's a lot of reasons to be excited for this one.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And, I just look back to week 1 last year and our conversation with Shedeur Sanders.
Right.
That wasn't recorded. It was just us talking. And he said, you can't give me this much time to prepare.
Yep.
And we saw what happened. He set the record.
Yep.
Literally set the record. I think it was almost every drive of the second half they went and scored. I mean, he knew TCU's defense and what they were trying to do like the back of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's what's going to happen again.
Yes. Number 5, to round out the list. There's a few ways you can go here, I guess. Baylor, that is homecoming. Mm-hmm. That's the Big 12 opener. It's in Folsom.
Mm-hmm.
At Arizona is a big game.
Yep.
Utah at Folsom is a big game. And the season finale at home against Oklahoma State is another big game. You could throw the Arrowhead game against KU in there too.
Yeah. I'm gonna just base this one because unfortunately it's looking like I won't be able to go. But I'm gonna base this one off of what I've seen from the people.
Uh-huh.
And I believe that the right pick for this slot is UCF.
Oh, and UCF. I forgot about that one. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a trip for us, but the opportunity to go into Florida, where Coach Prime is from, where Colorado has, I'd say, successfully developed a pipeline thus far. The IMG connection that you have there.
Coach Prime returns to Florida.
And not to mention, UCF is probably going to be a lot better than they were last year, too. So this could be a really good game and meaningful in the Big 12 standings.
Yeah, and it's the battle for black and gold.
That's true. To the bounce house. There you go. That's our top 5 games we're most excited for in 2024.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. Who would be your honorable mention?
Honorable mention, probably Baylor. The opener of the Big 12, the official return. And also Baylor ran their mouths a little bit when we left the Big 12.
Okay.
They wanted to get that spot instead of us into the Pac-12. And their cringy president or whatever wrote some letter to the Pac-12 about why they should bring Baylor and not Colorado.
Oh, God.
And not to mention one of the most disgusting programs in college athletics history.
Yeah, that is true.
So, love to beat them anytime in any sport.
I'll throw out Oklahoma State. Just, last game of the year. I guess a chance to really rebuild that rivalry. Or I guess even establish a new one, in a sense. because you don't really have a Nebraska in the conference anymore. And then I'll throw out the Arrowhead game too, KU. That's at the end of the year. Could be a big game for the Big 12 standings also.
Love it. The Arrowhead game I'm not excited for. Place is a dump.
I'm just excited to go there and get that thought confirmed in my mind, you know?
Yeah, fair. Enjoy the press box. Say hi to the moon while you're up there.
I mean, I went to ASU and I was in the press box. The moon and I are already on good terms. So.
This is, yeah. You're going to see the top of the moon this time.
Yeah, okay. Shout out to Coors Light. I think a lot of people needed some Coors Light last night.
Yeah.
Especially here at the DNVR bar.
Yeah. I'm sure the vibes were low.
Oh, you weren't here. But I've heard from people who were here last night. It was a tough one, obviously.
Yeah. Everyone just needed to chill.
Yeah, everyone needs to chill. And when you need to chill, Coors Light is the beer you should reach for. We got it on draft. We got it in the Silver Bullet cans here at the DNVR bar. It is patio season. Well, not today. But it's very close to being patio season. Come hang out with us at tailgates this year, whether it's on the road or here in Colorado. We'll have some Coors Lights with us, and you can make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Speaking of Coors, have you checked in on the Rockies recently?
No.
They broke that streak.
I did see they broke the streak. Kind of sad. Kind of sad in my opinion. I wanted them to just trail in every game of the season. I thought that would have been cool. You know what's worse?
Huh.
Their farm team in AAA, also the worst team in the league.
Yes.
Yes.
The Albuquerque Isotopes?
Yep, also the worst team in their league, which means there is no hope for the future. But we could get the 2025 number 1 overall pick, and that's one of Matt Holliday's sons.
Okay.
And the other one of his sons was just the number 1 prospect in baseball, but I think he came up and didn't get any hits. Anyways, shout out to Illegal Pete's.
The goats.
Your spot for burritos, buddies, and beers. Buddies are friends. Beers are beverages, and burritos are food. And we love them all. We love them all, and a great place to have it is over at Illegal Pete's. We got patio weather coming this weekend. It's not here right now, but it will be here Saturday and Sunday.
By the way, we're getting a freeze warning overnight. Did you see this?
Crazy stuff, man.
It's May.
I know. But Saturday and Sunday, 74. Both of those, and then maybe we're free because all of next week, high 70s and 80s.
Let's hope.
We might be free from days like today. Anyways, no matter what the weather, Illegal Pete's has something for you, and it's delicious in every way. So hit up our friends over at Illegal Pete's and enjoy a drink on their amazing patios.
Love you, Illegal Pete's. I don't know. I think I told you this. I'm in the bowl game now at Illegal Pete's.
You made a bowl game?
I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But no, I used to be just straight burritos.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going with the bowls for some reason.
Is that a health thing for you?
No, God, no.
All right.
No.
I go back and forth too.
I don't know. It's just, I feel like the bowl allows you to be a little more versatile.
Okay. I don't know. Steak queso burrito just hits so crazy.
It does.
If you're going to get a bowl, you might as well just get reverse nachos.
Well,
2 scoops of queso.
Maybe I'm on my way to progressing.
There you go.
Point.
You're graduating.
I am graduating. All right. Really just a few notes here before we round out and get to the chat. The Toyota chat. Post your questions in there. We will be addressing them very shortly. First thing.
By the way, one last thing. Sorry.
Go ahead.
A couple people were posting you missed it. Utah should have been on there. Nah. You missed it. ASU should have been on there. Or not ASU. Arizona should have been on there. Nah. I'm not excited for any of the Pac-12 series to extend. I kind of wish we could have just left them back there.
Right. No, I'm definitely more interested in playing these Big 12 teams, these teams that there's established ties with Colorado.
And established rivalries.
Yeah, and even UCF, I'm just more excited for that one just because of the Florida connection than Utah for some
100%.
reason.
And the only game from the Pac-12 that's coming over that I'm I'm glad that's still around is ASU. Just because I really like the Phoenix, Tempe area.
Yes.
And I'm, part of their band.
You're the conductor of their band,
It's
bro.
true.
All right. We do have a new visit coming in. Former FAMU linebacker Johnny Chaney Jr. will be visiting Boulder. He didn't say when. He just posted today. He's coming on an official visit. Again, his FAMU roster page already been deleted, so I can't tell you exactly what's going on for him last year. But he did play in 13 games, 58 total tackles, 3 sacks. Listed at 6'2", 230. Not related to Coach Chaney, who is the director of leadership, I want to say.
That sounds correct. He has
Something like
another. He does have a son.
Jake Chaney, who plays at Wisconsin.
Linebacker
Yes.
at Wisconsin. That's why I was like, linebacker, last name Chaney, got to be related.
So I went to Jake Chaney's 247 Sports page because usually they have the relations on there.
Yeah.
It mentioned Coach Chaney, James Chaney.
Yep.
It did not mention Johnny Chaney.
Okay.
So, also Johnny Chaney is a junior.
Is ineligibility or
No, like his name is Johnny Chaney
I knew
Jr.
that part. I knew that.
Okay.
Also, I feel like it would just be easier to go like with the Y's at the end. I feel like it would just be easier to go by JJ Chaney, Johnny Jr. JJ Chaney,
True.
and then we can bring back for old school Buffs fans. They'll remember an awesome player by the name of JJ Billingsley. And every time he made a play, like the announcer would go, J Billingsley, and like everyone would do it along
Hell
with
yeah.
them. So we can do that.
But this is another linebacker coming in. Sounds like the Buffs. I don't know if he's committed, but Elijah Herring, that's probably over. Also, Paris Patterson, the other Arkansas offensive lineman, committed to SMU as well.
Oh,
So
interesting.
him and Chambly both going to SMU.
Okay.
And SMU lost Marcus Bryant, who was an all-conference offensive tackle. And I think they lost another guy, too, who was a starting offensive lineman. So
SMU giving out muscle cars again or what?
something's going on there. Something weird's going on there. They're literally paying to play in the AAC or ACC this year.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Colorado basketball has hired Danny Manning.
Dan Manning greater than Dan Lanning.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people mention that
Oh, really?
it's too close to one of our deepest enemies. Yes.
Who we're never playing again?
Yes.
This is a hell of a hire, dude.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
He's a former Jayhawk. He played with Tad there at Kansas.
Yep.
He
was a dog.
He was a part of the NCAA championship team in 1988, was the Final Four most outstanding player that year, and was the National College Player of the Year, 2-time All-American.
NBA All-Star.
Played in the NBA for like 15 years for 7 different teams. NBA All-Star, as you said. And then has coached since 2006 at Kansas, Tulsa and Wake Forest as the head coach. And then Maryland, Louisville, and now Colorado.
Yeah. This is cool to kind of see Tad pulling in a really, really accomplished coach based on his Kansas, roots. We haven't seen that during his tenure at Colorado. And this is a big name that most of college basketball knows, very respected in the recruiting circles of college basketball. One of those people that, back when I was covering college basketball recruiting closely for Rivals, just like you see Danny Manning everywhere. And he's kind of revered in that community. So this is a big one.
This is a very big one. He also has ties to USA Basketball. Tad has been coaching those U18 teams. Obviously, him and Cody had that connection last year. So I think this is a great move all around. You get another experienced guy on the bench to help in-game. You have an experienced recruiter, like Coach Prime. He's kind of been there, done that, his entire life, his entire career. So you're going to have that pull in recruiting. You're going into this Big 12 conference. A lot of people are concerned about Colorado's basketball ceiling in terms of recruiting because this is probably the best basketball conference in America. And now you just bolster your recruiting staff, your coaching staff, everything, really.
Great point, by the way, with the Big 12 ties. I actually didn't even think of that angle yet. You know, having been at Kansas,
Yep.
recruiting in Big 12 footprint. This is just a great hire all around, and it's made some waves today. So good job, Ted.
Yeah. I know I've said we'll do this, but we will have a basketball show soon where we catch up on all the moves and stuff because they've added a lot of guys
Cool.
also. Anything else? Arkansas got a commitment from a 28-year-old man. That is wild to me.
Yeah. That is wild.
He was a 2014 four-star, bro.
And then he went and played baseball.
What are we doing?
I mean, that's happened before.
Brandon Whedon, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Joel Klatt, too, had a short baseball career before playing at Colorado.
Just crazy to me.
28 playing college football does just seem weird.
How is that allowed?
I don't know. It's going to be weird.
More power to the guy, but it's like, are we really going to be talking about a 29, 30-year-old draft prospect for the NFL? Like, come on. He's not going to go play in the NFL.
Well, he's not going to go play in the NFL, but he gets to play football.
Again, good for him.
Yeah,
but
good. I just imagine, like, the team's like, after the game, like, let's go out to the bars. And he's like, let's go to Cracker Barrel.
yeah. Yeah, he's like bringing his 8-year-old son to practice and stuff. Like,
I mean, that's probably not uncommon.
no, but I don't know. It's just weird. How about
He's
this
hosting.
one?
What's more likely is like he's hosting his own son on his official visit.
Yes. Oh my gosh. How about this one though? There have been 4 FBS teams who have brought in 0 incoming transfers this offseason.
4 FBS teams have brought
No incoming transfers.
Okay.
3 of them are very closely related. You could probably guess.
I don't
Nothing?
think I can.
The service academies.
Oh, okay.
Army, Navy, Air Force.
They don't do transfers, huh?
I guess not.
Okay.
Can you possibly imagine who the 4th team is? Think about a transfer portal hater.
Pitt.
Clemson.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Isn't that weird?
That is crazy. That is crazy. So Clemson's a service academy now.
I guess so. The chat was on it.
Yeah, they got it. They read that.
That's all I've got for odds and ends notes, really.
All right.
To the Toyota
Let's
chat
talk
we
to the
go.
people.
Eric, do you think the key to Pat Shurmur's offense is not only mixing run and pass, as well as spread the ball around instead of a primary receiver, need to keep the defense guessing? Definitely.
I think the key is Shedeur. and it's not Pat Shurmur's offense, it's Shedeur's offense, and that's the way it should be. But to your point, there's always going to be a primary read on any given play.
Mm-hmm.
But there is not going to be rules of almost like, if you see this, you have to do this. Now, there's a lot of times where Shedeur's going to look out there and see, okay, well, I'm getting just a 5-yard sit route from my slot receiver.
Yeah.
And their slot corner is playing off. Like, this is just an automatic 5 yards. I'll take it. He did that a million times last year.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like there's always rules for reading defenses, but last year's offense had a lot more rules for kind of what you were expected to do. Whereas this year's offense is going to leave it a lot up to Shedeur and what he sees at the line and what he likes. And he can go pick matchups. Remember how much I complained about not taking matchups last year?
Yeah.
And it was just the offense of like, hey, you got to go here with the ball if you see this. But it's like, if you see Travis Hunter in 1-on-1, you just throw it.
Yes.
Every time.
Yep.
Legitimately, for me, every time. So there was some of those things where like, that's how I watch the game, especially when I'm at the stadium, as I look out there and I just say, okay, well, what are we seeing? Like, okay, there's single high and he's actually shaded the other side and you have one of your top wide receivers over here. Like, just go run, just take that.
Yep.
Play that. And a lot of times it wasn't happening. And now that we've kind of had hindsight and we've gotten some hints I would say.
Yeah.
From people we've talked to, you find out that there was a lot more rules for if you see this coverage and you were calling this play, this is the route you throw to.
Yeah, I think there needs to be Shedeur needs a lot more freedom than he had last year in terms of control of this offense. Because he's a very, very smart football player. He knows what he's looking at. Allow him to completely change the play, shift the protection, change the formation if he has to, check into a run, check into a pass. Like, give the guy the keys.
Absolutely. That's what I mean. That's how you take advantage of having the best quarterback in the country.
Yep. Lone Wolf, when is the first day of practice? I wish I could tell you, man.
Usually the first week of August.
I feel like we started end of July last year.
Okay. Last week of July, first week of August.
Yeah. We're a good 2.5 months away.
I actually want to say it was almost lined up with Broncos training camp, and it's always been different. Because I think I went to like the first 2 days of Broncos training camp, and then that was it for me.
Yeah. Jennifer, how old is Mate? That's a good question.
Not quite 28.
I don't think he's 28. Yeah. I think he was a grad transfer, right?
I think so.
Let's see. I don't have his exact age. It does say in 2023 he was a junior.
Okay. I think he's like 26. Which somehow feels to me way younger than 28. How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay. Washed like me.
Yep, it's over. Jamal, are you guys going to do the slingshot in Orlando? Do you know what that is?
Nope. I assume it's a ride.
If it's one of those things, then absolutely not.
No, you're not. You're out on this?
Never. Not doing that. No.
I feel like I'm... Okay. All right.
Yep, I think that's what that is, and absolutely not.
You're not a thrill seeker in that way, huh?
I'm not a heights person for one. Roller coasters fine, but like, you know those rides where it's like it's just this big tower. They take you to the top and they just fucking drop you down.
Tower of Terror, Tower of Doom, yeah.
Yeah, they called it the cliffhanger in Albuquerque. Okay. Can't do that shit.
No?
Absolutely not.
I can, and I've done them all, but I don't like that feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
In your stomach when you're falling like that.
Yeah.
That feeling sucks. I don't know why people like that. I do, like, I don't mind it on a roller coaster when it's like, oh, you're going super fast and down and then up. But there's something about just
I'm
like
on a track.
Yeah, with the straight drop.
Hell no. We'll not be doing that.
It's just not as fun. I don't know. To me, it's just like all you're doing it for is to get that feeling in your stomach, which I don't like.
Yes. To Super Chats we go. The Outcast. Jake and RK, do you think Gage Goldberg will play? And I hope you guys can get an interview with him. Stay tuned.
Do you think he'll play? Probably not right away.
Yeah, probably not. Lance Ellerby, do you think Omarion Miller will break out this year or the next year as the leading receiver? I think next year that wide receiver room seems too deep this year.
Man, I think that anything could happen in that wide receiver room. Truly.
Yep.
I think that, there's a chance that O could be the leading receiver this year for sure. Mm-hmm. I think there's also a chance that it could be LeJontay Wester. I think that you could just go down the list. It could be Travis Hunter.
Right.
It could be Will Shepard.
Yep.
And Shedeur's favorite receiver is the one that's open.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's all going to come down to matchups week by week. I think it could end up being really close at the end of the year where you have like 4 guys up near 1,000 yards.
Yeah. Did you see the Draylon Miller videos coming out?
Mm-hmm.
That does not look like an 18-year-old, bro.
What the hell, dude?
Yeah.
That's a grown-ass man.
Yeah. What a beast.
Crazy.
Also, did you see someone in the comments broke down the entire Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef for you?
I think I screenshotted it.
So you can go
through.
One. Yes.
This one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I screenshotted it. And then someone else DM'd me. I'll actually give them a shout out because they took some time to do this. X-Chill DM'd me, and there's a YouTube video that just strings them all together in order. So that I appreciate that. And they also sent me someone who kind of gave like the whole layout, 5-minute video, just like telling the story of what's going on.
Yep. So we're gonna check in later this week, and
I will do my homework.
All right, we can't wait. What is
I
that?
know. I was like, what is that noise?
I don't know. Something's.
Do you hear that?
Yes, I hear it.
Okay.
Please?
It sounds like a car door sound.
It sounds like one of the dings, like a security system, like when you go in and out of the house. Alyssa's fan club with the super chat.
Wow, what a name.
Don't let your arrogance and love for the Buffs cause you to overlook the NDSU. They are the Notre Dame of the FCS. I'm just saying they have a lot of tradition.
Notre Dame of the FCS, so they're overrated every single year and never do anything, but have good academics?
I don't think we're overlooking NDSU.
No, we're not at all. I don't think saying that I think that the Buffs are going to win and that Shedeur's going to have a big game is overlooking them.
If anything, we're the team that's being overlooked.
No one
in this
overlooks
matchup.
their week 1 opponent.
Yes.
I just don't think that's really that possible.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
you have unlimited time to prepare for them.
Yes. Yes.
I don't think anyone overlooks their week 1 opponent. I think teams get upset in week 1 for various reasons. One being, they haven't played together,
Right.
new offense, whatever it may be. They're certainly, it's not impossible to lose in week 1 to a inferior opponent talent-wise, but no one's overlooking North Dakota State. And I honestly think it's helpful that North Dakota State is North Dakota State and they have the brand that they have. Like,
Yeah.
people have heard of them. They know that they go and beat people. I think they've won like 8 out of their last 9 games against FBS opponents. That also, most of those games date back from 2016 and before.
Right.
But I think it's helpful. It's like, oh, North Dakota State, you can't overlook them. Like, everyone knows that.
Yeah. This isn't Youngstown State or someone like
Yep.
that, no one really knows about, even in the FCS ranks. This is one of, if not the most popular FCS program out there.
The most popular.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to, the teams that compete in the playoffs.
Right. Right.
What?
This is driving me nuts.
What could that possibly
I wonder
be?
if the people can hear that sound.
Do you guys hear the binging sound?
All right.
That's it for today. I think we might have someone tomorrow. I got to double check.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
You never know.
But we're going to have some exciting guests coming up.
Absolutely.
I can't wait. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's go Buffs.
Appreciate you guys. Go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.